I have great news. The E.H. Taylor Small Batch, the one we all love, is easier to find than ever before. Now, it might not be easy to find in your area yet, but at least here, well, I could go to a lot of stores right now and find it for $60, just sitting on the shelf. So if it's available like that here, hopefully, and I think it will be available in your area very, very soon. And I even have better news. The E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, the 2025 Batch 14 version, is the biggest release ever of the Barrel Proof. Now, that doesn't mean it's easier to find, especially at around the retail price of around $90 to $100. But because of the big release, it feels like the resale market or the secondary market or even the liquor stores that's been charging $400, $500, $600 for this has been lowering their price just to try to get rid of it. So I'm gonna answer that main question. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth the trouble? Is it worth the extra money to buy the barrel proof instead of the small batch now that these are more available than ever? Well, let's find out together right now.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Bluesmake. My name's David. The E.H. Taylor Small Batch was first released in 2011 to great fanfare, and it was to celebrate the life and achievements of Colonel E.H. Taylor. It was a super hit from the beginning. It was beautiful, it's bottled bond, it's 100 proof, and it came in a great tube, I guess, which made it a wonderful gift. And then the year after, in 2012, they released this, the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, which was amazing, and it was a really small batch from the beginning, but of course, after 14 years, it's still really hard to find because of course the demand has gone up. More people found out about it, more people have drank it, and more people want to buy one. Especially if you consider it's still a really reasonable price at retail for around $80 to $90. And the reason the barrel proof is so popular is because if you think about it, there's very little Buffalo Trace barrel proof or cask strength whiskeys out there. If you remove the antique collection, which is almost impossible to find, there's only 3 barrel proof or cask strength Buffalo Trace whiskeys. First one being the Stag Junior, or now Stag, the second one being Blanton Second straight from the barrel, and of course the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof that's sitting in front of me. Everything else is either full proof or high proof or whatever you want to call it, but it's definitely not cask strength or uncut, unfiltered, which is the different way to put it. And before I tell you if it's worth the upgrade, let me tell you the stats on these bad boys. First, the E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Now, this is bottled bond, so the proof is at 100, and its age is non-age stated, but it's believed to be a blend of 6 to 8 year bourbons. Its price, about $60 in my area. The E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, now this is the batch 14, and this proof is 127.2. Now, there is another one out there, 127.4. No one knows why there's 2 separate proofs out there. Is it 2 different batches? Is it just a mistake? We don't know, but this one is 127.2. The age on this, it is again non-age stated, but it's believed to be a blend of 8 to 10 year bourbons. And the price, the retail price for this is about $80 to $90, but the secondary or the resale market has gone down a lot. It used to be $300, $400 just last year. And now with the big release, it's come down to $200. I even seen it for $180, which is again, very expensive, but much cheaper than it used to be. So is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth paying basically 3 times the cost to buy this at the secondary market than this, now that it's more available than ever before? Well, I can't answer that question just by talking. So no more, let's get drinking. Opening ceremonies. Oh. Yes. All right, so these have been opening up for about 10 minutes. I cannot wait any longer. Let's get right into it. First, the E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Now, a lot of you already had the E.H. Taylor Small Batch, so I'm gonna do a very condensed version of the nose, palate, and finish. All right, here we go. Ooh. Oh. This is why I love the E.H. Taylor Small Batch. It's really everything you want in a bourbon. It starts with the nose. It has a little bit of cherry vanilla type of ice cream feel. It's creamy, it's cherry, it has a little bit of the butteriness, and then you drink it, and then it follows up the same exact thing, but amped up. You get that sweet vanilla just going down your throat. And then you get that cherry sweetness just spiking all over your throat. But then to keep it interesting, it gives you a little bit of spice, a little bit of oaky spice or the cinnamon spice, just kind of making it tingly. So you're like, hey, sweetness, fruit, make the way for a little bit of spice. And then you spit again, you get the sweet fruit spice, Man, this is one of the best pours out there. I just wanted to let you guys know that I absolutely appreciate you guys clicking and watching a guy who just likes to drink whiskey. And of course, if you could push that like button, it would be great, because every time that count goes up, my motivation to make another video goes up and up and up. Of course, my Patreon YouTube members, you guys are my ultimate motivation. Thank you. All right, let's move on to what everyone's been waiting for, including me, the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Batch 14. First, the nose. Oh man. Now the nose, very similar to the small batch, which is obvious, but it feels like it's been toasted. So it feels like a cherry vanilla that's been toasted, which again is great. Everything toasted or like charbroiled, right, is always better. So a little bit of that smoke, a little bit of that char, always great. But nose could be a little bit more charred, but the palate better be delicious. Cheers, guys. Ooh, wow, that's a difference. So the first sip, man, the intensity of flavor, just the concentration of flavor is like 2-3 times the small batch. And it's not like the small batch is a slouch, right? It's still 100 proof or 50 ABV. So it does carry a good amount of concentration of good, delicious flavor. But this, whoo, it is packed in there. Wow, that's amazing that 27.2 proof difference can make this type of intensified flavorness. Oh, well, I gotta take another sip or two to see what I actually tasted. Now, this is probably the best way I could put it. It feels like a cherry 7-Up that's been aged in oak barrel. All right, you get the cherry, you get the lemon, you get the lime, you get that citrus kind of in a sense, but you get that tingliness. It's not like the lemon squeeze, it's literally a lemon lime soda, but with a cherry sweetness on top. And then the oakiness, right? You get that burnt char oakiness from the beginning to the end that just complements the cherry and the lime and the lemon, right? The soda. And it's interesting. It's different. It's not like anything I had before. Huh, wow. And then on the fourth and fifth sip, it goes back to its roots. It goes back to the cherry. It goes back to the vanilla. It goes back to the oak, and just this amped up by 2 or 3. But you get a lot more of that oak. And so, this is gonna be hard. This is delicious. But to see if it's worth the upgrade and the increase in cost or the time investment, I'm gonna go back and forth, take my time off camera and let you know if it's worth the upgrade. After taking 15 beautiful minutes going back and forth with these 2 wonderful whiskeys, I got the answer. I know exactly what I wanna say. So, is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth paying that extra money to get the barrel proof instead of the small batch? At retail price, absolutely. For $60 for this, I would pay $80, $90, $100 for this any day and twice on Sunday. The intensity of flavor, the concentration of flavor. Again, it's like this, just a little bit more focused. And so it's delicious, it's wonderful. And if you want to proof it down, you can always add a little bit of water or ice. So at retail, it's a no-brainer. But who can find that at retail? It's really, really hard to find it at retail. So let's just say for $180, if this is $60, for 3 times the cost at $180, is it worth the upgrade? No, it's not worth the upgrade. The small batch is an absolute monster. I mean, again, it's no slouch at 100 proof. And so it still gets a lot of the flavors and the taste. And while this is great and it's delicious, it's not that much better. Yes, it's better. Like I said, at retail, it's worth the upgrade. But pay 3 times the cost. Would I rather have one of this other than 3 of this? No. And I think that's where we stand. I think the retail or the MSRP of it is marked exactly the way it is. Now, if this was $100, you should pay $150 for this. And you never know. Prices are going up on Buffalo Trace products all the time, so you never know what the price is. But what I'm saying is, if you could find this for $60, you should not pay $180 or $200 for this. Even with the novelty, the experience, the wow factor of having a barrel proof. I mean, think about it. If you take this to a bottle share, it's gonna be infinitely more impressive and cool to share this instead of this. But even with that consideration, I don't think it's worth the upgrade. It's just not that much better. Again, it's great. It's delicious. Would I drink this over this? Yes, but for 3 times the cost, I would not. Let me know in the comments. Have you had the batch 14? Do you think this is worth $200? Do you even think it's worth the retail at about $100? And if you had a small batch as well, is it worth the upgrade? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.